Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. A very good morning to you all. My name is Rushdi Siddiqui. I'm the Global Head for Islamic Finance and OIC countries for Thomson Reuters, a company of 55,000 employees in 100 countries. I'd like to thank Kamran, the conference organizers, the sponsors, for allowing me to share some thoughts with you today. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues. We went from a jet engine view to a helicopter view to my view, which is more at the grassroots level. What I would like to talk about is what this event is about. When you talk about investors, you talk about capital. Capital relating to three things: risk averse, risk taking, and risk shifting. Capital in the Muslim countries is the grease that's going to develop it, diversify it, and build it to a knowledge-based economy. But where are we in the Muslim countries today from the point of view of capital and financing? Again, at the grassroots level. Today, in the Muslim countries, we have collateral-based capital. Collateral-based capital. Second, there's a bias towards banking and the debt capital markets. An equity culture does not exist yet in the Muslim countries. We have capital flight and brain drain, but the capital flight isn't going to other OIC countries. We are an exporter of capital and an importer of human capital. We have aid, which is getting fish, and we do not have much trade within the OIC, which is teaching how to fish. On Islamic finance, which was mentioned by my esteemed colleagues, it's today about the bankable. Islamic finance is a subset of the conventional, so the things that we have to work on is delinking for indigenous development. The halal industry, $640 billion. There are challenges in there, from positioning, branding. Halal is about compliant opportunities. Islamic finance is about compliant surplus of capital. There is a mismatch. There's no convergence. And what has financed in the Muslim countries, from healthcare, sanitation, education, so on and so forth? So that's the situation. In terms of where we want to be from the point of view of Muslim countries, we hear about the 2020-2030 vision that entails development, that entails diversification, that entails knowledge-based economies, where you've got a developing country that wants to be developed, where you have a frontiers country that wants to be emerging market, where you have a country that's not classified that wants to be classified as frontiers. We don't have financial inclusion. We're looking for financial inclusion. High growth economies, meaning higher per capita income. It should be a destination of foreign direct investment, foreign portfolio investment. And finally, the convergence between halal and Islamic finance, which we've heard. If I were to take where we are and where we want to be, the following scenario exists. We have more depositors than investors. We need balance. We have risk averse and risk shifting. We need more risk taking, which implies an equity culture, which is the foundation for knowledge-based economies. We have a stock market to GDP ratio that needs to get better to develop country levels. We need financial inclusion for those at the bottom of the pyramid. We have to talk about inward investing, and finally, in building a knowledge-based economy, the grease, which is the capital markets, has to basically be unleashed. Now, to address the challenges for investors and capital in the Muslim world, the suggestion has to have 5 attributes. One, it has to be impactful and holistic. It has to be ideally coordinated amongst the stakeholders. Second, it has to be paradigm shifting and not just reactive. Third, it has to be started immediately, tomorrow. Fourth, it has to be realistic. It has to be a vision and not a dream. Finally, it should provide signposts on the road ahead for development and diversification. Within the Muslim world, we have examples of challenges encountered and met. We've got Masdar City in Abu Dhabi. We've got the economic cities being built in Saudi. We've got the infrastructure for the World Cup for 2022 being built here. And finally, what we did at Thomson Reuters is alternative to LIBOR. Now, Where we are, where we want to be, from the point of view what needs to be done, which is the crux of what I want to say in this opening remark. Within the Muslim world, we need one thing, from my point of view, in this space, is an OIC, not Islamic, but an OIC wealth management hub. Why? A, it's an indigenous development. B, we don't want to displace Switzerland, France, Paris, New York, but complement. We want to build out asset classes from Islamic, conventional, but also ESG, environment, social, and governance. We want to develop a balanced equity capital market where family-owned companies list on the stock exchange, adding to the market capitalization of the stock exchanges. We want to take Sharia-based companies, dedicated Islamic banks, takaful operators, leasing companies, and have them list, have them increase their float. We want to have equity-linked products. In building a knowledge-based economy, which we hear of, 2020, 2030, diversification and development are the key attributes. To get there, you need the financial grease, whether it's conventional or it's Islamic. It has to be found somewhere, and that somewhere can be in this OIC Wealth Management Hub. The main takeaway from this hub is information intermediation. Within the OIC, within halal, within Islamic finance, the biggest challenge is information inefficiency. If we can make information conventionally efficient and intermediate to those who need it, there's a high degree of success that money will be coming in and landing in the Muslim world. But this OIC Wealth Management Hub can't be led by many of the 57 Muslim countries. It has to be led and housed by, could it be one of the G20 countries that are from the Muslim world? Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, possibly not. Can it be a Malaysia? Possible. It's a G20 country in the making. Can it be Qatar? There's wealth here, the highest per capita income. For Qatar to look into having an OIC wealth management hub and all the attributes that are associated with it, it presents a compelling paradigm shifting output. So in conclusion, the Muslim world is about four things today. It's about projection, perception, expectations, and reality. The perception is reality. What is the Muslim world going to project itself? So the new perception is the new reality. Thank you. Salam.